Welcome to Digital Asset News, the top stories in cryptocurrency and digital assets, and break them down to bite-sized pieces. Today we got a lot of things to go over. First up, something happened with my account. Looks like I was hacked, but there's some things that just aren't adding up. Also, a fantastic article written by Shihan Chandrasekhara, which talks about how to make money when the cryptocurrency market is tanking, which I believe is going to happen pretty soon. Also, Vitalik Buterin talks about ETH 2.0 and explains how the future of Ethereum will evolve with a rapid increase in transactions per second, staking, sharding, and everything that's involved with ETH 2.0, which is coming up. And finally, Kylie Jenner gets into the scam of the day. So that's what's going on, but let's take a look at what's happening with our market. Today it is July 1st. It is around 1:30 p.m. Texas time. It looks like Bitcoin on a little mini bump, 1.4% it goes up, so fantastic news. Bitcoin's up, which means usually everything else goes up, and sure enough, Ethereum, Tether, XRP, 17 cents. Bitcoin SV, Cardano, 12%. Everything's going good, swimmingly well, actually. Looks like they're going to launch that mainnet, and I cannot wait. And everything's pretty much the same across the board, so we'll see how it all shakes out as the week progresses. But let's take a look at what's going on my end. So if you noticed, one of my videos from yesterday was mysteriously deleted. And I didn't understand what was going on. Usually when a video gets deleted, it means that there is some kind of copyright strike or something against the guidelines that you may or may not have done, and YouTube has removed your video, which is what I was expecting. However, when I talked to the YouTube support, they basically told me, no, we didn't do anything. All your videos are fine, but it looks like for some reason you deleted your own videos. And I was like, no, I did not do that. And they informed me that it wasn't just one, but it was multiple. So if you're looking for this video, which was a great video yesterday, I talked about monetary policy and helicopter money and how things were going to happen and just everything that went over. It was good, but for some reason mysteriously got deleted. And here's where things get really odd, and that is that I am the only authorized user on my channel. The password could have been misused, or it could have been compromised, and somebody may have been able to get in and for some reason delete randomly 2 random videos. I have no idea why they would do that instead of really screwing up the channel. But also what's also very strange is that I have 2-factor authentication on, just like when you log into your exchange. So that is only on my phone, and if someone's able to hack that, I think we got much bigger problems. So the question is, did I sleepwalk and then mysteriously delete my own videos because I just hate myself? Or is there something else going on? And I have no idea. So we will see what's happening. There's an internal investigation. I'll let everybody know. But crazy days, crazy days. Anyhow, let's move on to top story. So first up, this was fascinating. This is by Shihan Chandrasekhara. And first of all, who's this guy? Who put pen to paper? Who are we listening to? Well, Shihan is the head of tax strategy at CoinTracker.io. He's one of a handful of CPAs in the country, recognized as a real-world operator. So when I give you advice, or I won't give you anybody advice, when I tell you things, I'm always saying, hey, I'm not a financial planner, not a CPA. But Shihan is a CPA, so what he has to say probably carries a little bit of weight. And I know people aren't really excited about taxes. I know, because I've done a couple of videos so far, and they are my lowest scoring videos of all time. But you have to understand, when I talk about this article, it's going to make you see taxes in a whole new light. And when I saw this, I almost dropped my computer because I was like, wow, we can do that? I had no idea we could save that much money. That's amazing. So let's just dig in. Crypto losses are not realized until you sell. And I think we all know that, right? Most of us are hodlers and we don't want to give anything up. But this is really important as far as when tax time comes, and you got to be smart. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. So it states here, it's extremely important to know that claiming losses for tax purposes is different than having a loss in your portfolio. In most cases, the tax code only allows you to deduct realized losses. It is likely that most of your cryptocurrency positions are in the red, and for some of us that held through 2019, you're darn right it was. For tax purposes, you cannot deduct mere decrease in market value of your positions because they are unrealized, meaning if it's just sitting there and you haven't sold, well, those are just unrealized losses which you have not taken yet. For example, let's say David bought 1 Bitcoin at 10 grand, January 15th, 2020. On March 11th, the price of Bitcoin drops to 3,000. In financial terms, he has lost a value of 7,000. But from a tax point of view, even though he's lost the value of 7,000, he has not realized this loss because he has not sold the position yet. So if he just sits around and holds on it forever, well, it won't be taxed because he hasn't sold it yet, right? So this is where tax loss harvesting. And this is where I almost dropped my computer when I read this. Converting unrealized losses into realized losses allows David to get a deduction when he files his 2020 taxes, which I'm like, great, that's awesome if I want to just get deductions, which would still suck because I have to sell my position. But wait, to realize his losses, he simply has to sell his positions that are at a loss. He also has an option to buy back into the same positions at a much lower price without compromising the ability to deduct losses, because wash sale rules are not applicable to cryptos under current guidance. Some crypto tax software helps you harvest tax losses. I'm going to read that again. He has an option to buy immediately back into the same positions as soon as he sells at a much lower price without compromising the ability to deduct losses. So here's what's going on with David. So let's say David, he lost 7,000. He's like, well, shoot, I had one Bitcoin at 10,000. I got one Bitcoin at 3,000. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell that at a loss. I'm going to take that $7,000. Now I have a realized loss, and I'm going to buy right back in immediately at 3,000. So I still have one Bitcoin, but now I have all these I have realized losses that I can use to offset my taxes. So if you're a person like me, small business owner, and you're looking for deductions, this is enormous. This is a fantastic, enormous, and I wish I would have known about it sooner, but I only know about it because of Sheehan. So thank you, Sheehan. I need to send you a gift basket or something. I will be clear. At some point, whenever that is, you'll have to pay capital gains tax when you sell it for a profit. So let's say you get in at 3,000 and then it goes up to 100,000. So now you have a capital gains at 97,000. So sure, I mean, you're going to pay capital gains if you sell it, or if you keep it at 3,000, or if you keep it at 10,000. But imagine being able to use $7,000 just this year for all your losses on whatever you got. That's enormous. That's enormous. So how do we do that? Well, here's a software that I use. It's called cryptotrader.tax. I have already done a sponsored video, so I am done with that. I am only talking to you about it because I love it, because it saved me about, I don't know how many hours, but it took me less than 30 minutes to do all my reporting for all the different transactions I have done in 2019, 18, and 17, because I went all the way back to check it, and it was just fast. It was just fantastic. Before we get into it, I have to make mention of these are taxable events, so everybody knows. And this is from actually the blog, because cryptotrader.tax puts out a blog which you can go to and just find all this information, which is great. So taxable events within the world of Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies is trading Bitcoin or crypto for fiat, trading Bitcoin or crypto for another crypto, spending Bitcoin on a goods or service, or earning Bitcoin as an income like mining or staking. Let me read that again. If you trade Bitcoin for cash, that's a taxable event. If you trade Bitcoin for Ethereum, you trade Bitcoin for tomato coin or whatever it is, that's a taxable event. If you spend Bitcoin on a good or service, that's taxable. If you earn Bitcoin as income like mining and staking, that's taxable. So all these things are taxable. If you just hold it in a cold wallet, that's not taxable, right? It's because it hasn't really changed or shape or anything else. It's just right there. So these are taxable events. Let's make sure we know that. All right. So with this one, with cryptotrader.tax, and if you don't know, if you want to use it, you get 20% off because I worked out a deal with these guys. I love them. They're great. They've been good to me so far, and they are the only person or the only corporation that I've allowed to advertise on my channel, and I get 10 to 20 per week. So if you're looking for that link, it looks like this. Just click on that, go over, and then do your taxes. It's going to take you no time. If you're like me, I've only got so many hours and days and weeks left on this earth, so I would like to use them by not poring over stupid spreadsheets. Anyhow, this is how it works. So you come up here, you log in, you pick up your exchange. If you don't have an exchange that's listed there, you can do a CSV file, and you can get that from there. You're going to import the trades, and then just real quick, so I have Binance, Coinbase Pro, Huobi, yeah, I know, and a manual exchange. And for all these things that you can get, I did a video on this, which is in my Essentials playlist, but I'm going to put this at the very end. It's about 15 minutes, and I go over exactly how this all works. So check out that, because taxes are coming up July 15th. So it's the first. You got 14 days. Anyhow, we import it, we review it, we create a report. Here's what my reports look like. I'm going to pick 2017. Hey, got a gain. Fantastic. And it's got everything from short term, long term, and no capital gains tax. Great transactions in a year, theft and casualties, audit trail. This is great for your accountant. And then this is the big one, tax loss harvesting. So if I wanted to sell right here, which I probably should have actually, on 2007, I should have sold a lot more. I could add unrealized losses of 11,000. I could have realized those losses and I could have just bought back in just like that. And it would have been okay because there's no wash trading because it's cryptocurrency. How amazing. So check that out. That's it. Let's move on. Next up, ETH 2.0. Vitalik Buterin explains how the future of Ethereum will evolve. So according to Buterin's explanation, I was going to get into it. The scaling of the network will be gradual. So I always thought ETH 2.0, as soon as it hits, boom, everything's good. But no, that's not how it works. After the initial transition to ETH, the network will see an improvement to somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 transactions per second, but more gradual improvements will be added to bump the speed capabilities up to 100,000 transactions. So 100,000 transactions per second, I just don't know if that's needed, but how does this actually compare to the big guns out there? So here's a nice little graph which shows transactions per second. Bitcoin has a whopping 7 transactions per second. That's why it will fail as a currency if we implement it right now. Now, with other things coming about, who knows? I don't know. But that's what's going on. Ethereum right now is around 20, Dash 48, Litecoin 56, Bcash 60, or Bitcoin Cash. PayPal, 193 is pretty low. Ripple's at 1,500, and Visa, and I've looked at this, and I don't think they're hitting 24,000, but this is, I think, is their maximum output. I think it's more like 15, 2,000, same thing as like XRP. Ripple is a software company, so maybe they're talking about that, but I think they're talking about XRP. Anyhow, and that's where we go. So if they can hit something, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, or 100,000, that's amazing, and hopefully it all works out. The problem is scalability, and they have gotten slammed because of critics. So they say, hey, it's just a bloated network. And if you remember the thing called CryptoKitties, it was a stupid little game that pretty much crashed the whole network because people were playing it, and they just didn't. I mean, it was just amazing. It just a stupid little game crashed the whole network. So if you're looking at as like a business and you're like, I want to do something like that. I want to build a dApp. I want to do that. I want to build on blockchain. You're like, wait. One game just crashed the whole network? Well, I can't do that. And this is exactly what Vitalik said. He said, look, scalability is a big bottleneck because the Ethereum blockchain is almost full. If you're a bigger organization, the calculus is that if we join, it will only be more full, but we'll be competing with everyone else for transaction space. So scalability is an important factor, and that's why ETH 2.0 is coming in. And then, so once we get ETH 2.0, we're going to be able to stake. It's going to go from proof of work to proof of stake. You just need 32. And then on top of that, you're going to also have this great thing called DeFi, which is everything is being built in Ethereum. And it's why I think Ethereum is a 10,000 coin. It's a $10,000 coin. That's just how I see it. So if you're not familiar with ETH 2.0, there was a great article written by Cointelegraph. It was just a rapid fire. It was ETH 2.0 explained in 7 questions, and it was pretty good. So it asked the questions, what's ETH 2.0 staking? And all it really says is you got to hold 32. You have to hold 32 ETH. That's why everybody wants to get 32 ETH, so they can stake that and they can have gains. And the implementation is due to start in the summer of 2020 and will most likely run for another year or two until all 3 phases are complete. So they are still on proof of work. They're going to move into proof of stake. They're going to move into sharding. And hopefully that will be the scalability issue, and we'll see how it all works out. So then it asks, what is proof of stake? So proof of stake provides those with a stake and network tokens the right to earn rewards for validating blocks. And it isn't really tough to do. You just have to, set it all up, and you just have to be online. That's the big thing. Proof of work assigns block confirmation rights to those that demonstrate the largest amount of computing power. Bigger computers, better off it is. Why is Ethereum 2.0 implementing proof of stake as opposed to proof of work? It's more energy efficient. Ethereum's core developers are heavily in favor of decentralization, which points to another reason for moving to proof of stake. If we've had this debate multiple times about miners in China and things like that, I don't want to get into it here, but that's the great thing about proof of stake. And by contrast, anyone can operate a proof of stake validator without needing specialist hardware or rigs or computing, huge, massive computing rigs. So that's a good thing. Therefore, the theory is that proof of stake blockchains stand a better chance of being more decentralized due to a lower barrier to entry. ETH 2.0 will also involve the implementation of sharding, which is a partitioning technique enabling faster throughput. So sharding, to really make it understandable, so I found this video, and it kind of helps to explain everything. So let's just give it a quick watch.
That means making it scalable. And that's where sharding comes in. Sharding is one of several methods being tested by startups, developers, and current blockchain platforms such as Ethereum to see if it can help blockchain developers finally climb the scalability mountain. To understand sharding and how it might help, you first have to understand a little more about blockchains. One of the main problems with public blockchains involves something called consensus protocols based on proof of work. This is what underlies how transactions are authenticated. A majority of the blockchain users have to agree that proposed transactions are authentic and can be added to the chain. In other words, there has to be a consensus. But consensus algorithms used by the likes of Bitcoin and the Ethereum payment network are highly compute intensive. They use a lot of CPU cycles. Further complicating things, proof of work-based blockchains require each authenticating computer or node to record all the data on the chain because it's part of the consensus process. But as more transactions occur and the blockchain grows, more computing cycles are needed, and everything slows down. How slow? Well, Bitcoin can only process 3.3 to 7 transactions per second, and a single transaction can take 10 minutes to complete. Ethereum is a little faster. It can process from 12 to 30 transactions per second. But that's nothing compared to Visa's 50-year-old electronic payment network, VisaNet. It processes around 1,700 transactions a second. In order to compete with VisaNet and other conventional networks in terms of scalability and performance, blockchain needs turbocharging. That's where sharding comes in. It's been around for a while. Originally designed for horizontal database partitioning, sharding is a way of spreading out the computing and storage workload from a blockchain's network so that each node no longer has to process the entire network's transactional load. Each node only maintains the info related to its specific partition, or shard. Sharding allows a blockchain to remain decentralized and secure, two of the things that make it so popular. The information in a shard can still be shared, and everyone can see all the ledger entries. But every node is freed from recording and storing all data on every other node. That allows data to be stored more quickly and makes it easier to find because its location is mapped on the blockchain. Because fewer nodes now see and process transactions, more transactions can be processed in parallel.
And that's pretty much it. So that's the big general overview of what sharding is and why it can be a great thing, but we will see. Now, there's already been some projects out there that I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the description, are on top of sharding. I think Zilliqa is one of them. I think there's another one. So let me know in the comment section. I had forgotten. But I see big things for Ethereum. And again, I believe it's a $10,000 coin. Also, if you want to have a more detailed look about Ethereum 2.0, what's going on, and the 3 different phases, I'm going to highly recommend from Consensus. They have a FAQ on Ethereum 2.0, which I will link in the description. You can check it out. And it's a little bit more involved, but it'll help you understand it to a greater level about what Ethereum 2.0 is hoping to do. But I just wanted to give just a quick overview and why I believe it's going to be the next big thing. All right, so that's it for today's video. I want to make this quick because I wanted to go over scam of the day. So if you have time, I'd appreciate it if you just give me a couple minutes and we'll go over what's going on with the scam of the day. So first up, in the description of every one of my videos, there's going to be a link. It's going to say scam of the day. And we've actually done this since January. And the reason I created this was because I was tired of people telling me they get screwed out of their money. So we did this to safeguard not only the people that are here now, but there are people that are going to come. We have to protect those people because if they get screwed out of their money, one person tells 10, 10 tells 100, and you know where that goes. So let's try to police our community. So once you click on there, just scroll all the way down. I want you to click on this last one here, the Kylie Jenner interview. So what we're looking for is essentially what I believe is an asymmetrical giveaway. So first of all, Kylie Jenner, I don't know what she's doing with Bitcoin, but apparently she's giving a bunch of it away. Maybe because she's a billionaire. Debatable. So the first thing you want to take a look at here is you want to say, okay, is this a scam? How do we figure that out? Well, first off, we take a look at the comment section because usually people will tell us what's going on. So here's a red flag. Comments are turned off, and that's not good. So second thing we're looking for is this an asymmetrical giveaway? So it says here to participate, you need to send between 0.1 to 20 Bitcoin to the contribution address, and we will immediately send you back twice the amount you sent. So I'm just going to make it super simple for you. You are not special. No one is going to send you any free Bitcoin, and that's just the way it's going to be. So when in doubt, just believe that it is a scam, and I'm going to tell you this is a scam. There's no way to verify this like some of our other ones where people will call Binance or they'll email Binance or CoinDesk or whoever else. You can't call Kylie Jenner and go, hey, you giving away Bitcoin? Just trust me, this one's a scam. I will always say do your own research, but in this one, I am 100% sure this is a scam. So what do we have to do? Well, first up, we're going to dislike this, and we're going to say from there, man, I can't believe 1,600 views. I wonder if people actually got screwed out of their money. Now, people will always look at this and go, that's so stupid. Well, how would they get screwed out of their money? And da-da-da. You'd be surprised. I did a poll, and out of the 800 people, around 40% of the people said they had gotten screwed out of their money in some way, shape, or form by scammers. So that's just how it is. So we're going to dislike it, then we're going to report it. We'll click on these three dots. Click report. We're going to say, this is spam misleading. We're going to choose one. It's a scam or fraud. This applies the links in the video description. No, it's in the actual video. And we're going to say, this is a scam. And you can put whatever detailed information you want, but just for this video, I'm just going to report and close it out. So now there's one. So if you could help me out by doing that, that'd be fantastic. It only takes a couple minutes. I really appreciate it. And that's the big thing, my friend. So that's it. So thanks again for sticking with me. I want to say thanks to all my supporters. If you don't know, underneath there's a join now button. Join now, just kind of like a tip. So like level ones, they tip me $1.99, and I say thanks, I appreciate you guys. Level 2, they do a little more, and I say give them a shout out. So all rights off, thanks. Wen Mullet, my man who helps me hold it down the premieres. I think we're gonna do a premiere today, so hopefully Wen Mullet's there. He's awesome. Myself, who else? Dave Plummer, Grant Sharman, Bruce Wood, Baking Benjamins, Noel Flippin Vegas, Martin Lewin, Michael Ralph, William Howell, Crazy Crypto Canuck, Tessie Ryosaki Positive, Troc LLC, JC Durix, Crypto Veritas, John Miller, The Office, El Merg, Michael Jeffrey, The Kel Show, Mage Research, Andrew Herrera, Terry Prosperi, XRP Carolina, whatever, AE, and Hero Soap Company. They make soap. So that's it. Also, watch out for another scam. My email is dandigitalassetnews with an S at Gmail, and someone's emailing people at dandigitalassetnew asking them to like be a part of their trading group or something stupid. So just put them in the spam folder and ignore it. All right, that's it. Thanks a lot, and I will see you on the next one. Much appreciated.